Good morning. I'm Kristen Curington, and today I'm going to be discussing with you a gateway to the Ocklawaha Bridge and Underpass Park. So removing the Rodman Dam is not only vital in restoring the Ocklawaha River, but it will also promote economic development by providing jobs and attracting tourism. There is an opportunity here to design a bridge and pocket park that act as an iconic landmark, draw attention to the river's history and future, protect and restore wildlife, and provide access to recreational facilities. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about is some goals and objectives for the site, and then I'm going to be explaining some of the existing conditions, and then finally I will be sharing with you a vision for restoration. So some goals for the site include a bridge as an iconic landmark, safe passage for wildlife, interpretive signage in key locations, improved access to the site and its facilities, increased variety in the types of these facilities, and economic development. So some important considerations for the design of this iconic bridge include the bridge length and where the vehicular and foot traffic would be to ensure pedestrian safety, what the volume of this traffic is, and the appearance of the bridge needs to match the character of the site. For wildlife crossings, there needs to be an underpass under this bridge so that wildlife can migrate safely. So thinking about what the key species are in this area. There is also an opportunity for viewing areas so people can come to the site and see some of this exciting wildlife. For interpretation, we need to think about what the most important locations on site that the signage can talk about. They can talk about the site's history as well as this vision of restoration and could do a lot to attract tourism. For access on site, the road leading to the pocket park is a dirt road. It's not paved, so that road could be paved to improve access. There could be improved access to water, so things like fishing and kayaking. There could be a boat launch here, and we could improve connections to existing trail systems for hiking. Recreational facilities, so that boat ramp that I talked about, but also including flexible space and having amenities that are flooding resilient. For economic development, the construction of this bridge and park would provide a lot of jobs. And once completed, the site would attract restoration tourism, and there could also be amenities on site like food trucks to further accrue some revenue. So in this map on the left, the pink dot here is the subject area, and in the area there are several campgrounds and restaurants. So while there's restaurants kind of nearby, there's still a need for something on site for people visiting. The entire site is located within the 100-year floodplain, which is described in this map on the right. The unpaved road here with this orange line is kind of an awkward way to reach the site. There's also a paddling trail that goes alongside the site. So here's a closer view of the Rodman Dam area. So this dashed line here is the focus for this project, and to the west is the Kirkpatrick site, which another student will be presenting to you today. The Rodman Dam is here. There's also an open lawn area, a soft kayak launch, one fishing dock here, and a couple of signage locations. Here are some photos of the site as it exists today. So as I was talking about before, this unpaved road has a lot of potholes and it's quite difficult to drive on. When I visited the site myself, my car had a lot of trouble. The parking is also not paved, and the signage is pretty limited, and some of the images when you walk up closer are pretty faded. You can't read them anymore. So that hasn't been updated in a while. The Rodman Dam causes a lot of blockage, which can cause invasive aquatic species to continue to grow. And there's also still room here for improved access to fishing. As for the analysis of the site, so as I mentioned before, the entire site is located within the 100-year floodplain, so that's going to really affect the design of the bridge so that the road doesn't flood. And black bears have been seen crossing this road, so we need to make sure that there is passage for them underneath the bridge so that there's not a danger to the bears and also people driving. There could also be improved access to fishing. Currently, there's just this one dock, and then everyone else just kind of fishes along the edge of the river here. And Again, this unpaved road, very difficult to drive on, and the one kayak launch on site, which isn't very well marked, there's no signage there, and I ended up not seeing it myself when I was on site. So it's important for this proposed gateway bridge to provide a safe pedestrian walkway that can also be used for fishing and wildlife viewing. And the bridge and underpass park could be an exciting destination for people traveling by both car and by water. And here is that the Rodman Dam, where it would be in this proposed restoration, as well as this gateway bridge and an underpass park. And here is the Kirkpatrick site. So the bridge design in this presentation is just one example about what this iconic landmark could look like. And I would like to propose a call to artists and bridge designers that could design something that's really exciting, but also cost conscious. Some of the criteria would just be that the bridge is high enough so wildlife could pass underneath it, and to anticipate flooding, since again, this is all within that flood zone. And the design of this bridge would also need to reflect the character of the site. As for interpretive signage, so the signage could illustrate all the changes that would be caused by this restoration. They could, and also they should talk about the change, but they should also talk about the history of the site. So one day when this is something really beautiful, we should talk about what it used to look like. And it would be a good way also to attract some restoration tourism. Here are some examples of where the signage could go. So in the past example, the example on the last slide, you'd have some signage here with this iconic bridge as the backdrop. And there could also be signage towards the entrance of the parking lot or towards one of the fishing docks. So in this proposal, there are 3 fishing docks. And there could also be signage near the dam site. So the underpass park could support recreation amenities like fishing docks in several different locations in addition to the one that's already existing. There could be a kayak launch on site that is better marked so people can access it more easily. Several picnic areas, proposing some food trucks on site because food trucks are flood resilient. You can completely remove them from the site. You don't have to worry about your buildings being flooded or anything. And that's also a great way to stimulate the local economy. The wildlife crossing would provide safe passage for species like black bears, so they're no longer crossing the road and causing a danger to themselves and to people driving by. And the bridge would also offer some great viewing areas of this wildlife so people have a chance to see some of these cool animals walking by. In conclusion, the bridge would act as, in restoring the dam, this bridge would act as an iconic landmark for the area, so attracting some tourism. And the underpass would provide a lot of protection to the wildlife. Improved access to the site here would also be great for both locals and tourists. And overall, it would be a really exciting place for people living in the area and people coming to visit to hang out at. Thank you.